Nick here. Just thinking about things, taking everything into perspective about making these videos, and I haven't gone back and looked at very many of them, and I'm not ready to yet. I just want to let this moment happen, but I feel like maybe addressing being able to communicate assertively, like maybe that should be maybe a goal for the show if I continued making these videos, or theme for the videos. But this is in that vein as far as communicating assertively. Since I've been talking about Hope and Cindy and everything, yeah, I realized, okay, like there was something I wanted to say earlier in the last video I made when I was talking about Cindy, but I didn't know how to say it because I realize now, like, I have to be careful what I say, because some people could construe things a certain way, and they might be right. Like, but I didn't want to say anything like, one of the good things about me about going to Hope now to help Cindy is because I'm not trying to get laid. Like, because then people would be like, aha, he said he's not trying to get laid. That means he's trying to get laid. Like, because that's just how people think, and that's how it is. Like, pretty much that's how people think. And usually guys that say, I'm not trying to get laid, they really are trying to get laid. And that's the hint they're throwing out there. Like, you know what I mean? They don't mean to say it, but they say it anyways, because that's their true motives coming out. So it is. It's good to be careful about guys who say they're not trying to get laid if they're talking to you or they're hanging out, and all of a sudden they're just supposed to, yeah, man, like me, totally, I'm like totally not trying to get laid. Like, you know, how could I? I'm not that kind of guy. Like, just be careful, because that's an indication that they really are, and they might be in denial that they really are trying to get laid, and they want to believe they're a good guy and that they're trying to help and all that, and you know. So, anyways, like, so I didn't say it, but it is true. I'm actually not trying to get laid, believe it or not, and I really do. Like, Cindy knows why I want to help her, and we're not gonna make that what the show is about, or whatever this video or episode or whatever it is, you know. She knows, I know, other people know that we're around when I work there, you know, why I would want to help her, because, you know, I feel like I owe it to her to just, you know, go in and be pleasant and nice to be, you know, enjoyable to be around and help her, so she doesn't have to get dirty, because she's kind of a girly girl. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't mind. I don't want her to get dirty. She's my buddy, and it's a beautiful thing, because my motives aren't tainted. Like, one of the things, I guess, about, like, being able to be honest with myself now, you know, and think about things like why things went the way they went over the last couple of years, it's because I didn't mean it, but in a way, like, my motivation to go to Hope kind of tainted, like, a lot of the results that I got from my interactions with people. Man, this is hard, but it's this beautiful thing. I feel I have to say all this, like, I originally, like, I wasn't using drugs or anything. Hope for Recovery is a recovery center for people that, you know, have issues dealing with using drugs. And, but it was a place I knew about. I figured it out, and, you know, I wasn't using, so I figured, hey, I'll go, and maybe I'll meet a couple chicks, or women, I'm sorry. Nick, if I say the word chicks, that's like a relic from the me I'm trying to evolve from. I'm making a conscious effort to mature and not be a 44-year-old man that calls women chicks. Like, you know, that's just where I was. Just nothing against any guy who calls women that, whatever. If no one's doing the wrong thing on the wherever point of the journey they're on, you know, it's just I'm ready to move past that and grow up and just be an old man or whatever. Stop, you know, just deal with it. I got old. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. Okay, I'm old. My hair is gray. I'm pushing 50. So time to grow up. But yeah, like, okay, so that little bit, like, right there, okay, I'm gonna go there and meet some women right there. Like, that motivation made it so that when I figured out there's stuff there, because I wasn't into the fellowships at first. Now I love the fellowships more than anything. All of the A's, you know, HA, AA, especially A is my favorite, which is ironic because it used to be the one I didn't like the most because they were the most strict, and now that's the one I think is the best because they're the most strict. But that's, you know, what happens when you grow up, I guess, for me. All right, yeah, I don't. I gotta be careful making statements like that because I'm not trying to judge anyone else who doesn't like AA. That's the beautiful part is if they don't like AA right now, they're not supposed to like AA, and it's not a bad thing. It's ready for them when they're ready for it, kind of thing. And to push it on them is to take away from the joy they get to feel when they discover how beautiful it is to enjoy an AA meeting. Like, I'm not scared to say it. I go to AA so I can praise my higher power in a room full of my peers and not be judged. I think, it's wonderful. It's like going to church for me. Going to AA, and that's just where I'm at this point in my journey. I'm not, for me to put down someone who doesn't like AA because they don't have a higher power or whatever, it would be like me putting down a version of myself, that I had to go through to get to where I'm at now. So, it's not happening. Like, I'm glad that I have that awareness. I'm glad I have that now. That's the gift I get. You know what I mean? That it's hard. I can't necessarily give it away. I'm not by helping people and all that stuff, they're not going to feel what I felt by making it there. You know what I mean? That's for them to get when they get there. It's all them too. And their higher power. That's the beautiful thing. So, but, yeah. That little bit, that like worm of impure motive, wanting to meet women, did it just screw stuff up? Like, I did stuff I shouldn't have. I wasn't aggressive towards trying to get women, in my opinion. Maybe I was, I don't know. It's I did. I was out of line. I shouldn't have, there's a couple, at least one or two I should not have approached and acted like I wanted to be their friend. Just because it was unprofessional. You know what I mean? And maybe I did want to be their friend. I thought they were cool people. I wouldn't have approached them, but still, it was unprofessional, and I wouldn't have did it if I wasn't tainted by that one first impure motive. You know what I mean? In a sense, I wouldn't have been there. The impure motive was at least a contributing factor to me being unprofessional. So there's that. And it went instead of taking the professional route. Maybe if a woman was interested, instead of not doing it, I did it. You know what I mean? That wasn't the right thing to do. I didn't do that when I worked there, but I did it, as a volunteer or whatever. But this isn't about trying to glorify that behavior. Even meeting somebody I met at Hope wasn't a good idea. And then we're here back, it's hard for me to say. I regret getting into a relationship with somebody that was in their early recovery. It wasn't good for either one of us. She got out of it better. She was okay. That's the good thing. But here's another thing. Oh, guys can be victims too, believe it or not. But I'm a victim of myself for doing what people were telling me don't do. I knew it was unprofessional and I did it, so I can't. This isn't about blaming people for anything. I'm just trying to come clean. I don't know, it's just liberating to just be completely honest and put everything out there. And there was somebody, since we're talking about Hope, there was somebody that used to work there. It was a female. She was, a very attractive person. Everybody likes her still. Everybody, she doesn't work there. She hasn't worked there in a year or whatever, over a year. But everyone loves her. I was attracted to her. I admit it because there's nothing wrong to admit it. Everybody went through, I think all the guys had a crush on her at one point. You know what I mean? And then, for me, we hung out once. No big deal. It was at a thing, something where there was people there. And she wasn't being unethical about hanging out. And, I was hoping maybe there was a chance for romance. I didn't think she had a boyfriend. I didn't think she was seeing anyone. I didn't know anything at the time. It's no one's business, what she was doing anyways. But, no, so I texted her the next day after we hung out. She didn't return the text. And you know what I did? I actually, said, well, she must not be interested. And then I actually kind of made myself stop. I didn't look at her like that anymore. I did, okay, well, that's over. There's no point in even trying. She's a cool person. I just want to be her friend. And then later on, we ended up kind of being friends. And it was just, I got really weird. Because, it was this COVID thing. I was super depressed. I really liked this one other chick. I couldn't understand why I liked this one woman that wasn't interested in me. It was driving me crazy. And, I don't know, and I gave this other, this attractive person that worked at Hope, I gave her the impression that I liked her in a way that was it was weird because I did it's not like I stopped thinking she was attractive, but I stopped focusing on that aspect of her and just let that go. I wasn't impurely trying to get with her. I was talking about another girl And I guess she was like, yeah, right, you must be talking about. She probably assumed I was talking about her because she's that attractive that everybody like liked her. And it was just, she's, that's kind of her affliction. But, you know what I mean? But, so she, and then there was this thing, like somebody thought I took a picture of the signing sheet or whatever, where I was signing everyone, but if, it was just a mistake. I was just looking at my phone and someone swore, and it was, it was a mistake. But it like drove me nuts, and I just figured out what happened. And I'm not mad at the person who was wrong. It's just, because I could see why she would think that I would take a picture of the signing sheet. But if I was really like that out of it, like I know I was weird, but it was weird for reasons people didn't know about. And like if I was really like that creepy though, I would have took the picture while I was in the room with the signing sheet by myself, the little file room we put it in every night. Like so. I don't know, I was hurt that people thought I did that, and it was like, I don't know, I was like worried people were out to get me. I was walking home in a different way at night because I thought somebody was out to get me for some reason because I was there trying to get me fired. They were trying to ruin my life. That's not what I thought. It's not the case. It was just a mistake. But anyway, so it just increased my overall weirdness factor, though, that coming into play. And then just the way I was acting in general, because this person that worked at Hope, she was like a mommy, sister type gimmick to me, and I just wanted to be her friend. I wanted to be in the inner circle. I lost, like, Footloose was gone, Jeremiah died. She was all ahead, and my family was in Connecticut, and that's it. And I had a weird relationship, not bad, because I don't want to label these good or bad. I had a weird relationship with my sister and my mom, and this chick was like it. And then I ignored the fact she was attractive. I didn't look at her like that anymore. I managed to turn that off somehow. Didn't view her as a sexual being anymore. But, and I don't know, but just how everything played out, like, I went nuts and just... I'm come to terms with everything now, and I'm coming back, and I'm better than I was before in the sense because I don't have little hidden indiscretions that nobody knows about. My motives aren't impure. I'm not using bad logic to justify behavior. I'm not secretly on this slide trying to get with women at places I volunteer. I'm not going to be receptive if someone does to me. That's another thing. Like I'm just... all that childishness is over for me. It's time to grow up. And yeah, it's like another baby boy is growing up moment. Another one, I don't know. I'm making these videos. It's just good feeling. It's just good to just put everything out there. Anyway, so I think that's it. I can't possibly go on any longer. All right, thank you. Have a good day.